May profits be upon you. We're going to take a look at Euro USD, right? And what I want to make sure you understand is that on Wednesday next week, we will have the FOMC, all right? And that'll determine whether the US dollar is weak or strong. And that depends on if there's a 75 basis point hike or a 100 basis point hike, which would be a bit of a surprise coming from the Fed. Uh, the the talk coming out of the Fed, they have been signaling a 75 basis point hike, but they also you saw a heightened tone of hawkishness, right? And because of the last CPI data that came out, showing that inflation was a little more stronger than expected. So there are mumblings and rumors going around that they may make a 100 basis point hike. If we see that 100 basis point hike, then you'll see the US dollar increase in strength and drag the euro down. If we see that 75 basis point hike, which is expected, I suspect that we will see a weakening of the US dollar near term, short term, okay? Not a reversal in the market, but a near term correction. And that would allow the euro to rise. And we can tell by the latest COT report that as of the 13th, there are 51% of institutions and banks are short, right? That number is decreasing. All right. But they've added 2,501 long positions and they've closed 22,000 short positions. They've taken profit. They are taking profit on their shorts. They had been, they started that the week before and the week before that at the end of August, right? And they are the guys that were long, all right, they closed 8,000 on at the end of April, or at the end of August. They closed 8,567 positions, and now they're adding longs, all right, over 5,500 over the last 2 weeks, all right. So they are banking on longs themselves, okay. That's the indication. Now I'm looking at the euro futures right now, and what we can see is weakness. All right. Just breaking lows and making lower highs all the way down. All right. And what's important to note is that we have reached a monthly and a weekly demand zone all the way over here to the left. If I can get to it, here we go. Right here. All right. And this is on a daily chart, right? But this whole bag here is the monthly demand, all right? And we are well inside of it right now here. And I do expect price to react here. I do expect a reaction, and we're getting that reaction. If I can get to it. All right. We're getting that reaction. Why didn't I just press that button? All right. And that's what I want to make note of. That's what I want you to make note of. All right. Now, in the same token, the US dollar. All right. Let's just make all of that disappear real quick. If I can find out how to do it. Hide. I'm looking for hide. I'm just looking for hide. I can't get a hide. I think I can get a hide over here. All right. So as the Dixie is showing, you know, the US dollar index futures, all right, what we can see is that strong uptrend. Thank you very much. And we can see that on the daily, at the very least, we are hitting an uptrend, and we are in supply. We're reacting to weekly supply, all right? And you can see that reaction here. And we want to watch what happens here because we don't want to jump in too soon. So let's go to the doggone the currency itself. And what I want to do is take you over here to the monthly area of demand that I was pointing out here. We have a monthly area of demand here. Actually, you can see that we can refine it. It has been refined from the top here. I just moved the top line down. All right, and we can go to the weekly, and we can see that refinement to this area here where price popped up and retested and came back down. We're already in this zone. This is a weekly zone of demand. Okay, you see this dotted line, that's where the current price is. We are in this weekly zone. So I am going to project this over here, right? While you are looking at me, while you're checking this out, and you can see that we are in the bottom of this demand zone. We're in the bottom. We're getting ready to break that. You understand? So price is heavy, but I'm looking for the reaction in this refined demand, this refined demand zone from the weekly and the and monthly. All right. Down here is daily demand, and I'm waiting for price to find its way down here. We're going to see, because that is one of my target areas. All right, should we see strength into the U.S. market, the U.S. dollar? All right, let's go to the daily, and what we can see on the daily. Let me make sure that we're seeing what we need to see. Yes, we are. Okay. All right. So with that being said, look at the daily. We can see we have a strong downtrend. It's being maintained. There are some notable things. We have relative equal lows. All right. After price came down. All right. We broke this low. All right. This was a pivotal low because it was part of the higher time frame swing structure. All right. So this low here is mucho importante. All right. Big time. All right. We broke that low, and that swing low. It came lower, struggled to get down lower because we are mitigating the demand zone here. So that is something that I want you to acknowledge, that price struggled to get lower. And what did it do? It gave us a signal. It gave us a signal that price wants to go higher right here. Once it pulled up and made a lower low, all right, made another low. Really, this is quite noteworthy, all right, because even though it's struggling, it did go lower, all right. The fact of the matter is it went down here, and some people are going to call this a fake out because it went into this range. It went into this range. Price came down here, swept the lows, and then popped up. All right, and we broke this internal structure to the upside. That is a signal that says this down move is over and that there may be a shift in the market. This represents that market shift. And once you break structure, you expect a return to impulse. And price did return to this demand zone, which is holding thus far. All right, let's go down to the 4-hour and we can take an even closer look and what I want you to see. Let me see. Let's get that right. I just don't want that color there. Boom. All right. So what we have here inside is that internal break of market structure to the upside, a pullback into demand. Demand is holding, even though it went lower. It swept these lows. Something I like to see when a new zone is being created. So I believe that a new zone will likely, a new 4-hour zone will likely be created here. All right. What I'm going to tell you though is this is in the range, right? And you want to, when we're talking about ranges, you want to be at the top or bottom of the range when you enter price. All right. Counter trend, pro trend, you want to be at the top and bottoms. You do not want to take trades from the middle because price can go against you and hit your stop loss at any time. All right. So what would I like to see? All right. Here we're at the bottom half, the bottom of this zone I just outlined. Right. We're at the bottom here. Right. Price comes back to sweep that low or get lower. We wanted to see what I want to see anyway before I enter is a sweep of this low. I want to see a sweep of that low. If price just swept these highs, all right, boom. This is how liquidation manners manipulate, right? They sweep the lows, they sweep the highs. You're trying to figure out which way you're going. Wait until it goes. Wait until after the manipulation. All right. Look for where the liquidity is. There's this low could be used as inducement to come down and mitigate this demand zone, right? A wick down would accomplish that. And then I would look for, as soon as it comes down in the contact here, I'm looking on the 15-minute for confirmation entries, bullish price action to take this thing higher. Where would I look first? Look for it to come here. It just so happens that the trend line happens to reach there as a confluence, one of your confluences, and we are running into a demand zone. All right. Here's the thing. All right. I would look. I'm telling you right now, as soon as price hits this supply, excuse me, this supply zone. All right. I'm going down to the 15-minute. I'm going to look for bearish price action to see if the supply holds. All right. Just like this demand zone is holding, I need to see that it holds here. And I will look for my confirmation entry for a short. And I believe that would be a high probability trade. However, there's a big however. This is a demand zone, a supply zone, excuse me, a supply zone that was created by the CPI data. All right. I don't like these kinds of zones because they're not trustworthy. Price could zoom right through this thing. There's a couple of things missing from here. There is no inducement. All right. There's no inducement point, right? Although it left a lovely imbalance to come and fill, we could create that inducement point before it gets there. All right. The seller's trap to trap sellers into entering this short, to enter the shorting area to sell too early, just to have price come back and snatch them up, snatch off their stop losses, take them out of the trade, and then mitigate this zone. All right. That could happen, which would, and if I see that, I'll have a little bit more confidence in this zone. The other thing that makes me not trust this zone is these relative equal highs right above it. Okay. So price could definitely want to come up here, sweep these highs, and then come back down. All right. I like that. I think there's credibility there. I think that as far as there is a plausibility is what I want to say, because it'll come up higher into premium as opposed to discount. If we get a price takes this out, this will be right around 705, 786 Fibonacci retracement. All right, from this high to this low. All right, if we pull back up here, sweep these highs, we'll still, and I find the zone that will reverse price, it still maintains the bearish overall trend. You understand? So I'm looking out for these things. So I'm going to have an if this, then that approach. Okay. Now I'm going to mark this zone for you, my peoples, so that you can see it, because this zone may be the one that turns price around. If I can get my alignment right. Okay. So I'm going to look for price to quite possibly, just possibly come up there. All right. Now, this area here didn't make a new high, so it's not, I wouldn't consider this a breaker, but I would definitely consider this a zone of supply. And I want to mark these out. I want to mark them out and be careful, be watchful as price heads up here. As 4-hour zone, it's a large zone. Price could come up in there. All right, but you understand where I'm looking right now. All right, this area, this would make a fine trade. This would make a fine trade if it holds. If it holds, I need to see the confirmation entry on the 15-minute. All right, I'm also going to be watching the lows. I do believe price is going to go up, but I'd like to see that sweep. I'm definitely looking for this sweep. All right. If it sweeps this and not leave this, then it's going to leave relative equal lows here. And that doesn't make sense, especially when there's an unmitigated zone down here already. So I'm looking for the sweep here. All right. So we'll see. We'll keep an eye on at least this low. And we'll keep an eye on this low and the mitigation of this zone, because this would make a great trade to the upside as long as we get the confirmations that price wants to go higher. I hope you enjoyed this video. I actually was confused by it last night because this is so junky, but there is some clarity when it comes to the setups. If it comes up here, it's going to fill in this imbalance, and maybe it creates a zone, an area where we can get inducement, and then it takes out the early sellers, and then we can come down. And if it comes down here, if it comes back here, I'm looking for the sweep of this low and this low for liquidity and a mitigation of this unmitigated zone, and we can look for price to climb. All right, we'll see if this zone holds or fails. That's fine, but because if we get in down here and take it up, it's going to be a great trade. If price just starts going up here, I'm looking for the inducement point to be made, and we should be able to get a pullback to this area and then up. So those are the things I'm looking for. I'm hoping that you enjoyed the video. Do smash the like button. I appreciate it because it helps the channel to grow. Leave a comment and feedback. I'd like to know what you're thinking about this place, these setups. If this, then that approach. Okay. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.